Okay, I'm shooting this today because this is a diary, right? So this is kind of where I am. I went back and forth with the doctor's office, and the long and short of it is they lost the form. So I have to make an appointment with my doctor so she can see me and have her sign the form. I have to go to this appointment just so she can sign the form. Then it can get sent in. I'm like, ugh, seriously? That was kind of my reaction after this. It's like really, really annoying. This form was supposed to have been sent in 2 weeks ago. Duo should have had it by now. They don't. And I still gotta see where my other reference form is because I don't know where that is either. So that's kind of where it's at. Let me cut. Hey guys, I'm gonna be spreading this vlog out for next week over a few days. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly like how long it's gonna be yet. It depends on how long my clips are and stuff like that. I am shooting this because I actually have news. Not big news, but news. Um, I I got a few emails back. I sent my email updating Duo about the status of my paperwork because I was having some issues with it. Obviously, the biggest hang up being the medical form, which I'm gonna hopefully get straightened out today, signed, and to them. I told the client manager I'd have it to her by the end of the week. Fingers crossed that's the case. Um, providing my doctor's office isn't dragging their feet. So, but yeah, so she essentially said once they have all my paperwork, I'm good to go for my interview, which is, I did not get to that with PGI, so, but they're a little bit more, I like Duo because they're not so rigid with their schedule because they boot you out based on your application. And I like it that they're talking to you while they're looking for a dog. I like that. So that's item number one. I'm going to get this entire mess with my medical form straightened out. So hopefully that will be in St. Louis by the end of the week and I can start prepping for my interview, which, as I said before, I'm really nervous about, I mean, it's in person, but for an out-of-state client like me, they have to do it over Skype or something. So anyway, I still got to prep for that. So I'll probably do a whole separate video on that. My second thing is I got an email back from the place I'm getting the lift from. They need like 2 more measurements and I have the estimates ready to go and stuff like that. So I got to get those measurements. I can probably do that by the time I see my mom this weekend, hopefully. So we'll see where that goes. And so it's like, there's that. And I'm actually really happy with how things are going right now. Stuff's moving. I got a lot of paperwork to shuffle, but it's moving, which is better than it was doing last time, both with the service dog. Well, I didn't have the lift going at this point when I was making videos last year. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully I'll have some update as far as my interview. Probably next week sometime, but it's probably going to be a pretty busy year for me. If the service dog stuff keeps moving, if they have a dog for me in the next 6 months, I will be shuffling dog stuff by Christmas. So we'll see how that goes. So once I get the last of the paperwork in, I'll probably do some prep for my interview, and run that through once I could read what they need, and I'll do a prep video on that. And so I'm just really excited and really happy with how things are coming together. I didn't actually think I would have a chance to get this far. The people at Duo Dogs have been really helpful, as have the people that I've been working with my lift. So my biggest hang up right now with the lift is the insurance, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. If anybody's had to do anything with insurance, particularly state insurance, it's a mess. So can't really do much about that. So, but we'll see, and I'll keep you guys posted, and hopefully I'll be doing an interview prep video in the next few weeks. Okay, hopefully this will be the last clip in this video, and hopefully it's not too long. Today is Thursday, and I was gonna shoot this last night, but I was tired, I had a headache, and I was like way too wound up to shoot this without turning this into like a 20-minute rant. This is the upshot of my doctor's appointment yesterday. It didn't go the way I want, and we've hit kind of a bit of a snag. My first problem was I had the wrong car, so I couldn't take my scooter, which had the paperwork in it. So I got to the doctor's office and realized, crap, I don't have the form. I need the doctor to sign, which is why I made this appointment in the first place. 2, they had to call Duo and have them fax the paperwork. It was funny because my mom called them, and then one of the office manager medical assistants called them as well. But they got it faxed over, which would have been fine, except for the third thing that majorly snagged my appointment. And that was, my doctor refused to sign the form at all. And I was thinking I could get this taken care of in like 15 minutes tops. I'll be out of here. That was not the case. Her reasoning was, oh, I'm afraid for the dog's safety that you can't take care of it, blah, 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 which was the upshot of it. And she's like, oh, what if the dog gets out of the house? And blah, blah, blah. What are you, stuff like that. Despite my mother explaining to her that I had owned a dog before, I'm familiar with owning a dog. I know how I can take care of a dog despite having a disability. And it was like, it's like hitting a brick wall. I mean, I respect her opinion as a medical professional. I mean, that's her job. A doctor's not going to give you bad advice they think is going to be detrimental to you. That I get. But despite being given very clear information, she still refused to sign the form. The best thing she told us was, oh, have your other doctor sign this. And I said, this needs to be done by the primary care physician because that's what they asked for. So I'm like, but I mean, if I have a problem with Duo after the fact, I'll tell them my primary refused to sign this because of this, this, and this, and didn't give us a good reason or what they thought was a good reason why I shouldn't have a dog. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So I was like, anyway, so my mom and the doctor had like a 10-minute, it wasn't like a shouting match, but they argued for like 10 minutes going back and forth. And it was one of those circular arguments where you don't really go anywhere and nothing's really resolved. And it was like, and then at the end of it, it was like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's okay, but you never really listened to a word I said, and you still think I'm way more disabled than I actually am, and I'm sitting here in front of you telling you I can do all these things. And so, that I don't get. I really don't. And so the upshot of this is I'm sending it to my other physician who primarily takes care of my cerebral palsy stuff. So hopefully she'll sign the form, but the upshot of that is I can't have it faxed to Duo until next week, which I want to get my paperwork in as soon as possible, and I'm not really, that's not really happening. But that's that. And I just have a way more level head about this than I did yesterday. And so that's pretty much how that ended up. And hopefully I'll have some better results with my other doctor, and this form can get faxed, and Duo will have it at the very latest by the end of the month. And I can start the next step of the application process. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.